Hi everyone, Namaste. How are you all? I hope all are you good and be safe. So in the last class we have completed some velocity distributions, also some van der Waal equation, kinetic theory, and also some kinetic energy density formulas all be completed. So the remaining whatever the topics present in the states of matter will complete now. So the first topic is Graham's law of diffusion. So the next topic is Graham's law of diffusion. So Graham's proposed the rate of diffusion law. So first of all, what is diffusion? And diffusion is a process of intermixing of gases. So diffusion always takes place along with effusion. So there are two definitions, effusion and diffusion. So sometimes both are also similar nature, but actually what is effusion is escaping of a gas from a narrow hole. So escaping of gas from a narrow hole is called effusion. After the effusion, so diffusion will take place. So diffusion means spreading or intermixing of gases. Example, suppose we are pressing a perfume bottle. When we are pressing, so gas will come from a narrow hole. So that process is called effusion. After it is coming to outside, it will be spread throughout the atmosphere, and that spreading or intermixing with the other gas is called diffusion. So effusion is escaping of a gas from a narrow hole, whereas diffusion is a process of intermixing or spreading of gases. So Graham explained about rate of diffusion. So we know that the rate of diffusion is directly proportional to volume spreaded by the gas at a given time. So the rate of diffusion is proportional to volume divided by time. So more the volume, more the rate of diffusion at a less time. So at a given time, how much volume is diffused? So that is called rate of diffusion. So you can write R1 by R2 is equal to V1 by T1 into T2 by V2. So this is the formula of rate of diffusion. Actually, this is not a Graham's law. This is just rate of diffusion general formula. Rate of diffusion is simply directly proportional to volume and inversely proportional to time. So R1 by R2 is equal to V1 by T1 into T2 by V2. And our two times one volume is given. The second volume we can identify. Or two volumes one time is given. Second time you can identify by using this rate of diffusion formula. Now what Graham's law states that, so the rate of diffusion of any gas is inversely proportional to square root of its density. So rate of diffusion of any gas inversely proportional to square root of density. That means high dense gases will diffuse lesser amount, low dense gases will diffuse more amount. So rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of density. In place of density, we can use vapor density also. You can take equal, or we can take 1. So vapor density also, we know that vapor density is equal to molar mass by 2. So also we can take square root of molar mass. So the rate of diffusion of any gas is inversely proportional to square root of density or square root of vapor density, square root of molar mass. So from this, R1 by R2 is equal to square root of D2 by D1, that is equal to square root of Vd2 by Vd1, that is also equal to square root of M2 by M1. So this is the rate of diffusion formula. So mostly we use molar mass formula. So rate of diffusion R1 by R2 is equal to square root of M2 by M1. So that means if gas has more molar mass, its diffusion is very less. Gas has less molar mass, its diffusion is very high. So rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to square root of density, vapor density or molar mass. So by equalizing with the first formula, R1 by R2 is equal to V1 by T1 into T2 by V2, which is also equal to M2 by M1. So this is the main important formula for the calculations. They will give two gases and they will ask which has more volume of diffusion or which has more time of diffusion. They will ask. So this is the formulas you can calculate. When volume is different or time is different, molar mass. We will see some examples also. Also, rate of diffusion is directly proportional to area, also directly proportional to pressure and directly proportional to square root of temperature. That means, suppose we are taking a cylinder, it has a small narrow hole and it has a large hole. So more the area of the hole, so more the rate of diffusion. So rate of diffusion is directly proportional to area of the hole. Similarly, when you are applying more pressure, more the gas will be diffused. So rate of diffusion is directly proportional to pressure, also directly proportional to temperature, but the temperature must be calculated value is square root of temperature. So at different pressures, at different temperatures, at a different area, we can calculate rate of diffusion. So from this we can write R1 by R2 is equal to A1 by A2, that is equal to P1 by P2, that is equal to T1 by T2 square root. So these are also rate of diffusion formulas. So in the questions they can give mostly the pressure also, temperature also, area also. Also they can give volume also. Also they can give time also. So mostly they will give volume and time relation. The first one is most important. This is Graham's law of diffusion. We'll see some questions. See the question. Hydrogen diffuses 6 times faster than the gas X. We are taking gas X and compare with gas X. The diffusion of hydrogen is 6 times. And then what is the molar mass of the X? So this is the question. Options are given 36, 72, 28, 48 like that. Now we have to identify molar mass of the X. Rate of diffusion also given 6 times. So according to rate of diffusion formula, rate of diffusion of hydrogen by rate of diffusion of X is equal to molar mass is asking. So rate of diffusion molar mass formula, molar mass of X divided by molar mass of H2. Why? Because R1 by R2 is equal to square root of M2 by M1. Rate of diffusion is inversely to molar mass. So from this, rate of diffusion of hydrogen is 6 times and compare with gas X. If the gas X is 1, then rate of hydrogen will be 6 times. So which is equal to square root of molar mass of X we have to identify, divided by molar mass of hydrogen we know that will be 2. So from this, so cancel the root by squaring this. This will be 6 square is equal to mx by 2. That means molar mass of X is equal to 6 square is 36 into 2, it will be 72. So 72 is the molar mass of X. See the question. Another question. Through a narrow hole, 2 liters of hydrogen diffuses in 2 hours. So 2 liters of hydrogen diffusing in 2 hours. Under the same conditions, the time required in hours for the 1 liter of oxygen. Here the rate of diffusion is same. So whatever the diffusion of hydrogen must be diffusion of oxygen, both are same. But here volumes are different, time is different, is asking for time. So we know that rate of diffusion formula, rate of diffusion of H2 by rate of diffusion of O2, which is equal to, so volume and time is given, so volume and time, VH2 by TH2 into TO2 by VO2, which is also equal to square root of molar mass, MO2 by MH2. So here volume of hydrogen is given 2 liter by time of hydrogen will be 2 hours into time of oxygen is required, time of oxygen is required, yes. So time of oxygen by volume of oxygen will be 1 liter, which is equal to square root of molar mass of oxygen will be 32 by molar mass of hydrogen will be 2. So from this we can get time of oxygen. So time of oxygen in hours is equal to, this will be 16, root 16 will be 4, this will be cancelled. So time of oxygen required will be 4 hours. So answer will be D. So like that, any questions are given, can calculate. So rate of diffusion is most important. So Graham's law simply says is that rate of diffusion of any gas is inversely proportional to square root of density. So density mostly we can take as molar mass. Higher the molar mass, lesser the rate of diffusion. So another important law in the states of matter is Dalton's law of partial pressure. Dalton's law of partial pressure. So what is Dalton's law and what is its partial pressure is? So according to first I'll explain statement, after I'll explain. So Dalton's law says that in a mixture of chemically non-reacting gases, when any chemically non-reacting gases when we are mixing, the total pressure of a mixture is always equal to sum of partial pressures of each component. So that is the Dalton's law statement. So Dalton's law statement is in a mixture of chemically non-reacting gases, the total pressure is equal to sum of partial pressures of each gas. Now what is non-chemically reacting or what is chemically reacting? Suppose at room temperature, those gases which are reacting, those are called chemically reacting gases. Example, if hydrogen and chlorine, they can be reacted at room temperature, formation of 2 HCl. So these two are called chemically reacting gases. But if you are mixing hydrogen and oxygen, these do not mix at room temperature. So this required high temperature. So normally we are taking as room temperature. So at room temperature, those gases which are not reacting, those are called chemically non-reacting gases. So Dalton's law only applicable to those gases which are chemically non-reactant at room temperature. So hydrogen, oxygen, like nitrogen, hydrogen, or nitrogen, oxygen, or hydrogen, helium. So all these are chemically non-reacting gases. So Dalton's law only valid good for chemically non-reacting gases. So reacting gases means H2Cl2, hydrogen, chlorine, or NH3HCl, CO plus Cl2. So all these are reacting gases and all these are non-reacting gases. So the statement of Dalton's law says that in a mixture of chemically non-reacting gases, the total pressure of a mixture is equal to sum of partial pressures of each gas. Now, what is partial pressure? What is total pressure? See this. We have taken a cylinder. In this cylinder, we have taken, suppose, hydrogen gas. Now, only hydrogen gas is present in this cylinder. Now, the pressure exhibited by this hydrogen gas can be calculated by using ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. So, ideal gas equation is used to calculate pressure of the gas. P is equal to nRT by V. By knowing the volume, by knowing the number of moles, by knowing the temperature, we can identify pressure of hydrogen. Now, the pressure of hydrogen is called pure pressure. Here only hydrogen gas is present. Now, the pressure is called pure pressure. But however, in this, we are also mixed oxygen gas. So, now it is a mixture of two gases. Hydrogen gas also present on the same volume. Oxygen gas also present in the same volume. Now again, hydrogen also exhibits some pressure. Again, that pressure can be calculated by using same formula. So, in a mixture, the pressure of individual gas is called partial pressure. Only one single gas is present. That is called pure pressure. When mixture is present, then the pressure of each gas in that mixture is called partial pressure. So, partial pressure only say when the gas present in the mixture. So, in the mixture, each gas pressure is called partial pressure. Now, hydrogen has partial pressure in this mixture. Oxygen also has some partial pressure. Now, on combining these two partial pressures, we can get total pressure of the mixture. That is stated by Dalton's law. So, Dalton's law says that in a mixture, the total pressure must be equal to sum of partial pressures of each gas. So, gases may be two gas or more gas, whatever. So, the total partial pressures when we are adding, we get total pressure. So, this is the Dalton's law of partial pressure. Now, see this. Like we have three gases in this cylinder. It contains gas A, gas B, and gas C. Here volume is B and temperature we are taking as T. If we want to calculate pressure of A, then that is called partial pressure of A. According to ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. So from this P is equal to number of moles of A, suppose we are taking as Na, into R is a constant, temperature we are taking as T, divided by volume. So P is equal and PV is equal to nRT, P is equal to nRT by V. So here volume is also constant, temperature also constant, number of moles. Suppose A moles are Na, B moles are Nb, C moles are Nc. So the partial pressure of A is equal to NaRT by V. Similarly, the partial pressure of B is equal to NbRT by V, and the partial pressure of C is equal to NcRT by V. Each partial pressure. Now, according to Dalton's law, the total pressure is equal to sum of the partial pressure, that is PA plus PB plus AC. So from this, the value of PA is NaRT by V plus NbRT by V plus NcRT by V. So, if you are taking RT by V as common, so we get Na plus Nb plus Nc into RT by V. So, this is equal P total. So if you are taking a ratio of PA by P total, PA by P total, if you are taking as a ratio, the formula of PA is equal NA into RT by V. This one divided by P total formula Na plus Nb plus Nc into RT by V. So RT by V cancel. So PA by P total is equal to moles of A by total moles. So this is nothing but PA by P total is equal number of moles of one component by total number of moles is called mole fraction. So partial pressure of any gas is equal to mole fraction of that gas into total pressure. So from this PA is equal to XA into P total. The partial pressure of any gas is equal to mole fraction into total pressure. So we can calculate partial pressure also by knowing the total pressure. We can calculate total pressure also by knowing the partial pressure. So this is the Dalton's law. So however, Dalton's law only applicable to chemically non-reacting gases. So this is about Dalton's law. So we will see some questions also. So silly question. Equal masses of sulfur dioxide and oxygen present at 27 degrees Celsius. The total pressure of the mixture is 2.1 atmosphere. Then the partial pressure of SO2 is. Here we are taking two gases, SO2 and O2 at 27 Celsius. The total pressure also given 2.1, asking about partial pressure. So as I said, the partial pressure is equal to mole fraction into total pressure. If we want partial pressure of SO2, which is equal to mole fraction of SO2 into total pressure. So from this mole fraction of SO2, here equal masses of both sulfur dioxide and oxygen are taken. We know the formula of mole fraction. Mole fraction is number of moles of one component by total number of moles. That will be number of moles of SO2 plus number of moles of O2 into P total. So number of moles. Moles formula given mass by molar mass. But here masses are equal. So let's take masses are both X. So X by sulfur dioxide molar mass. So sulfur will be 32, O2 will be 32. Now molar mass of sulfur dioxide will be 64 divided by same X by 64 plus number of moles of oxygen. Mass is given same. So hence it is also X by molar mass of oxygen will be 32 into total pressure already given 2.1. So from this 2.1 into this will be XX will be cancelled. So here ratio is the LCM is the 64. This will be X by 64 divided by here 64. So this will be 2X plus X. This will be 3X. That is equal 2.1 into. So X will be cancelled. 1 by 64 into 64 by 3. So 1 by 64 into 64 by 3. This will be cancelled. That is 2.1 by 3. 0.7 yearly will come. So 0.7 atmosphere. That is the partial pressure formula. So partial pressure of any gas in a mixture is equal to mole fraction of that gas into